Hello and welcome to Joy of Books with me, Miss Joy. Today's offering is the British classic, The Secret Diary of Adrian Mole, age 13 and 3/4 by Sue Townsend. Released in 1982 and totaling 259 pages, the young adult novel is the first book in the Adrian Mole series. Sharing his views in the book today is author and teacher TC. So TC, tell us about this famous book.
Well, Miss Joy, the first thing that I can tell you is that this book is fantastic fun to read. It's written in the form of a diary, and I can tell you that anybody growing up in the 1980s will definitely be able to relate to every day of this lovely book. The narrator is a rather unreliable narrator in the form of this boy, this teenage boy, Adrian Mole, and a lovely name for this character as well. From the very start, it hooks you in. The idea that he doesn't quite understand certain things that are going on around him. For example, his parents having trouble in their relationship. His mother is seemingly having an affair with the next door neighbour, Mr. Lucas. And you have all these things going on in his life that he's trying to make sense of, as well as, of course, as a teenager, trying to handle spots and other kind of teenage issues. The book is a delightful reference of the 1980s. So as I said, if you grew up as a child in that era, this book will definitely resonate with you. And like I say, you have the love interest with Pandora and his best friend Nigel as well, the classic friend who has all of the expensive stuff for birthdays and Christmas, and poor Adrian stuck with the bare bones of gifts from his supposed loved ones. He has a lovely side to him. He's definitely somebody who wants to do good in the world, and that's shown in his New Year resolutions that he makes. He does actually live up to many of these, so he helps this elderly man, Bert Baxter, through his twilight years. He does his best to overcome the threat of the school bully that we have there as well. And like I say, really, really entertaining throughout this book. I will admit to laughing out loud. And I know sometimes you read that in book reviews sometimes, oh, it's laugh out loud funny. But this book truly is. If you grew up in the 80s, as I say, and you went to school in the 80s, there's no doubt about it. You will see some of these references and you will laugh aloud. So I would say that the overriding response to this book, reading it again in 2024, is the idea that this voice is absolutely believable. And that's quite an incredible skill to achieve, isn't it? When you think that the female writer, Sue Townsend, was able to write or create this voice for this character that's so believable. And of course, in that era, it's before if you like, I mean, I know that people will probably compare this to Diary of a Wimpy Kid by Jeff Kinney, but looking at both books now, I can see that Wimpy Kid has the kind of, well, I don't want to say luxury, but the kind of gimmick nature of the drawings and devising the character in that way, whereas Sue Townsend has done this purely using the first person narrative, using the form of diary entries as well. A very, very difficult skill to pull off. Some people might say this is very simple writing, but I would argue that it's deceptively simple writing, which is actually probably the hardest style of writing to pull off, especially given that you're making it believable as well. So I wholeheartedly recommend this book. Like I say, especially for those who grew up in the 80s as children, you will recognise the school teacher descriptions, you'll recognise the lessons that they went to, and everything from prefects to milk monitors and so forth. So even for the middle age now, it's worth revisiting, because I believe that it has that sense of nostalgia that, of course, many readers will crave. Completely recommend this book. Don't think there's any downside to it at all. Definitely grab it.
Certainly sounds like you enjoyed reading the book. And what a funny name, Adrian Mole. The Secret Diary of Adrian Mole, age 13 and 3/4 by Sue Townsend, is of course still available from all good book outlets. Thank you for joining me, and please remember to like and subscribe to my channel, Joya Books.